Hey guys, what is up? This is Jeff. Probably getting sick of me if you've been watching all the Titans Tier 3 content, but I am back with an update to our Season 2 format. Honestly, this is happening because so many people have signed up. I was expecting, 64 teams after last season's 32. We're very close to the 96 teams that we were aiming for, and honestly, so much credit to the staff here at Titans of Tier 3 who have done an amazing job bringing you guys in, and to you guys who are showing interest in this league and signing up and really just ready to play in the Titans of Tier 3 format. So we've made some changes to the division placement system that'll ultimately, I think, be much better for everybody in terms of giving everybody a fair shot and getting people where they need to go in order to have the most competitive experience in Season 2 of Titans of Tier 3. So let's not talk about that too much. Let's just get right into it. The first thing that we're going to look at here is we're going to look at the Swiss brackets, right? So what we're going to do is we've got a Swiss system. We're very familiar with that, but you'll notice a little bit of changes. And I just want to run through how a Swiss system works with you guys real quick. So we're going to have 48 teams, and then some of them are going to win and some of them are going to lose, right? And then some of those guys are going to win and some of those guys are going to lose. And as you can see here, you'll move up, and once you win 3 times, you're going to qualify for the upper Swiss bracket, right? And so maybe your path is a little bit more difficult, but it's still possible, even if you go down 0-2, to come through this lower bracket run and make it into the upper Swiss. Or maybe you don't quite make it and you end up in the lower Swiss. That's okay too, but ultimately, this is a trial by fire. This is merit. This isn't like, oh, we're a brand new team. We've got no VLR ranking. We've got no RIB ranking. We haven't gotten a chance to play Contenders Premier. Where do you place us? How do you rank us, right? Rather than use any kind of existing ranking system in that regard, we're going to come out here. We're going to give you an opportunity to really prove your stuff and, basically just put your mouth where your money's at, right? You signed up for this league. You're here to play. Let's show it. Let's see what everybody's got. And let's give everybody the opportunity to make the top level, regardless of their past experiences or their past records as a team, as an org, no matter what, right? So we talked about upper and lower Swiss brackets, right? We're going to have 96 teams signed up. At this point, it's looking inevitable. The last I heard, we've only got 3 or 4 spots left open, and those may be taken as I speak, maybe even before this video comes out at 9 a.m. the next morning. So hurry up, sign up, get involved, right? There's a lot of great benefits. We're going to talk about that later on. But right now, again, 96 teams. We're going to break those into 2 even groups as best we can, right? We're going to just give it a good eye test. We're going to try and make sure that the groups aren't like stacked in one direction or the other. We want the groups to be fair, break them apart. We have 2 48-team Swiss brackets run on day 1. This is May 18th. Just a reminder, we had to push that back. May 18th, be here. We're going to be running both of these Swiss brackets. Now you'll see this is intense, right? This is intense. They're not all best of 1s. There are best of 3s in here, right? So once you go 2-0 or 0-2, right? Once you have 2 wins or 2 losses, you're going to be playing best of 3s from there on out, just to really confirm your opportunity to get into that upper, or to give you that extra safety net so that you're not going lower, right? Nobody wants to play an elimination match or a relegation match or a demotion match on a best of 1. They all want a best of 3 game. Even if it's the end of the day, even if you're tired, you want that best possible shot at keeping yourself alive in the system, right? So I'm imagining that this last round here where everybody's 2-2, that's going to be really intense. Those games should be really tight, really close. But, there's an opportunity for you to win 4 maps in a row and just go right out. Or maybe you lose 4 maps in a row, and then you don't have to worry about this anymore, right? For those of us who, play for content, right, we're going to be here for a while. And I understand that that's a big slog. Bear with us for that. It's just the first time that we're doing this new formatting, to get this new method of Titans of Tier 3 underway. And ultimately, this isn't something that we're ever going to have to replicate in terms of this kind of brutal slog throughout a long day. And what it's going to mean for you guys is that, it's all on your gameplay to get where you feel like you belong, right? It's not a system that's punishing anybody for being a brand new team, or that's really challenging for a lower seed. No, it's you and your games coming out, showing up, and getting through. So if you play well and you beat your opponents decisively, then it's going to be a pretty nice time for you, to be honest. With that, we're going to have two of these groups running simultaneously on Saturday, May 18th. 3 wins takes you to the upper, 3 losses takes you to the lower. That's because we're going to be introducing 4 divisions, guys. 4 divisions. 4 divisions of 24 teams, okay? And what we're going to do is the upper Swiss, that'll be happening on May 19th, as well as the lower Swiss on May 19th. You're going to be playing against all the teams that won from the previous day, so the 48 teams that all won 3 maps will play another time to determine who goes to Division 1 and who goes to Division 2. It's the most fair way to do it. It gives everybody the best opportunity to earn their spot. And ultimately, it should be some of the best practice that any team gets because you'll only be playing teams of equal records. So the game should only get more challenging. They should only get more competitive. And it should only make you better players ultimately to play in these games because it'll be some of the best practice that you can honestly get outside of, honestly a late stage Mr. Fun Haver bracket. For some of the top teams, you get to get into really competitive games very early on as opposed to having to play through multiple rounds of early bracket stages. For the teams that are maybe more casual, maybe more developmental, not quite as promotion focused like the teams like Blinn was, right? Teams that are more in the development stages, have players trying to come up and learn the game. You're also going to be moved into a division where you're going to have the chance to play against teams of equal skill as soon as possible, right? So the second day you're going to be playing more competitive matches, most likely, against teams that are more closely matched to you. And then that'll get us Division 3 and Division 4 for the teams that went to that lower Swiss, right? And that's where we go into our division play. So as soon as we finish that on May 19th, we're going to start that week. We're going to get, me and the admins are going to be up all night. We're going to find out who's in what groups. We're going to seed that based on like round differential and score and head-to-head from the Swiss. We're going to get the groups all seeded out. We're going to assign matches to weeks, and then you're going to have to play a round-robin group throughout the next 5 weeks, right? So you're going to come in, you're going to be in this group, maybe you're Group A or Group B, and you're playing all of the other members of your group. Now, the top 2 teams in the group, they qualify for playoffs. Congratulations, you guys are in. The 3rd and 4th place teams of the group are going to have to play a play-in bracket, and I'll explain that here in a moment. And then the 5th and 6th place teams of divisions 1 through 3, so 1, 2, and 3, will be in a relegation zone. And so they're going to get an opportunity to re-earn their spot in their division against the best teams of the division right underneath theirs, right? So, play-ins. This is the really exciting part of this for me, right? The 3rd place of Group A is going to play the 4th place of Group D, and the 3rd place of Group B is going to play the 4th place of Group C, so on and so forth. So if you're in the 4th place spot of your group, you're going to play a 3rd place team of a different group. And if you're in the 3rd place spot, you're going to play a 4th place team of a different group to really test your mettle against the other teams in your division. Teams that have probably been your scrim partners throughout the division time, teams that you probably built up a rapport with because they're the best practice partners. You can practice with the other groups. They should be the same skill level, but they're obviously not a conflict for the regular league play. So you're going to be in this bracket versus them, and one win, and you're going to be in playoffs, right? You win against that in that matchup, and you're going to get a chance to play in the playoffs versus a 2nd place team from a different group, right? So, for instance, if you're in Group B or C, you make it through, you're going to play against the 2nd place team in Group D, and then if you win that matchup, you're going to play the 1st place team in Group A. So this rewards the 1st seed and the 2nd seed for getting in the top of their group, but it really rewards the 1st seed because what we're getting out of this is some additional opportunities for that top 8. Now for Division 1, you're not going to get those same opportunities because you're at the top, right? You're playing for prize money, you're playing for the free entry for season 3, the top teams will not have to pay for the entry fee, right? If you get top 4 in Division 1, you're going to be seeded into the top of each group for the next season, and you're going to have to or you're going to get that opportunity to come in without having to pay for the next season, right? So there's that added benefit for you. For the top 2 teams, the final teams, they're going to have the best opportunity to be invited to this Vegas land. Now, there's a lot of technical wording and stuff that I'm not allowed to say or use, but I'm just going to imply that you want to finish top 2 if you want to get the free ride to the Vegas land. I'm going to leave it at that. And then the first place team is obviously the winner, the grand hoo-ha of Titans of Tier 3 at the Division 1, the biggest pot of prize money in the whole deal, right? You're in a great spot here. The prize money will be broken up in this top 4, right? So not only are you no entry fee, but that's where the prize money is really at. So for your first place teams, you got to win 1 series to get into that. These are single elimination playoffs, but it really is very rewarding, the league play, so that you have the best time in the playoff bracket here. Now, for divisions 2 through 4, this thing's get really cool, right? For your first place teams in each group, congratulations. You guys have earned the shot at promotion. You're going to play in that promotional playoffs at the end of the season after this automatically. For everybody else, win your game, get into this top 8 here, and you're going to find yourself playing for a shot at promoting to the next division, in addition to playing in your playoff bracket for your own prize pool, right? Now, the promotional playoff. Going to be another Swiss bracket. This will be probably a 2-day affair at the end of the season. After the playoffs have concluded, we're going to take the top 8 teams of the playoffs. So if you're in the 4th place of your division and you make playoffs and then you win that first game in playoffs, you can still promote to the next division. You can come in late like G2 and be a big upset run for the Shanghai like G2, right? Like you can make that run. But you come in there, you're going to be playing against the bottom 8 teams of the division right above yours. So as a great example, Division 1 and Division 2, which should be the tightest in competition there, the bottom 2 teams of each group for Division 1, if we want to go back and look at this, right? The 5th and 6th place teams of each group, they're going to be playing those top 8 teams in this new Swiss bracket here, right? And win 3 times, you go up to Division 1 or to Division 2 if you're in Division 3, or to Division 3 if you're in Division 4, right? If, unfortunately, you lose 3 matches in this, you're going to be in the lower division, right? So it's like taking you out of your divisions, placing you in this pot. You're going to play each other, prove yourself, and then end up in the division where you belong against the teams that are most competitive. So even if you finish at the bottom, even if you're in that relegation demotion zone, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going down. You're going to get a chance to fight for your spot. And for those of you trying to get upwards, you're going to get to really test yourself against teams in a higher spot than you to prove that you've got what it takes. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please create a ticket in our Discord. We'll be putting a link in the description below. As always, I've been Jeff. My DMs are open all the time, and I appreciate you guys coming out and participating in this event. Thank you guys so much. Peace.